Before we continue, if you okay, I'll stay. But before we continue, if you'll just allow me to speak for just 1 second. So I come from a place in East Africa, a country by the name of Sudan. Yeah, boy. Assalamu alaikum. Y'all might have heard about what's been going on in Sudan in the news, some of you. But I'm going to guess the majority of you have not heard about what's been going on in Sudan in the news because, quite frankly, it's not a sexy enough story to make the news. We all know what's on the news these days, not Sudan. But I think it's an important story. In 1989, my family emigrated to the United States. My father was a politician in the Sudanese government, and I actually was born in London because he was working at the Sudanese embassy in London. In '89, he was in the States studying, and a coup overthrew the government of Sudan, led by a man named Omar al-Bashir. And that year that the coup happened, a bunch of my dad's friends disappeared. A lot of them were killed, and a lot more fled the country. My family applied for asylum in the US, and we gained asylum. We were able to flee a very dangerous situation. And as a matter of fact, 4 to 7 million people fled Sudan at that time. A lot of them came here too. So Omar al-Bashir took control, and he completely fucked the country up. He split the north and the south up. He fucked the western part of Sudan, Darfur, which some of you might know about. He fucked that place up completely. He siphoned out all of the resources from the country. But most importantly, he drained the spirits of the Sudanese people. And this went on for a long time, to the point where the country was in shambles. The price of bread cost more than the average wage of a human being. If you wanted to put petrol in your car, you had to wait all day long at a petrol station to get petrol. And the value of the currency was so inflated and so valueless and not even there that you couldn't even pull out more than the equivalent of $20 or 15 pounds out of your bank account. Now, he was in power until this past April, where the people of Sudan said enough is enough, and they overthrew him. Yeah, it's an amazing thing. They had help from a military council, a military force, and once Omar al-Bashir was ousted, this military force said, you know what? We're going to take control again, and we're going to start another era of tyranny in this country. And the people of Sudan said, no, that's not going to happen. You're going to negotiate with us a productive move forward, which includes a civilian government led by the people and for the people of Sudan. Yeah, so they said, we're not going to move out of your complex, and we're going to peacefully protest until we get to a compromise. Now understand, because 4 to 7 million people fled Sudan. This is an older generation of people that left the country. This left a very young country. 75% of the Sudanese population is 25 years old and younger. Now, I don't know what you were doing when you were 25. When I was 25, I was definitely fucking around doing a bunch of bullshit. I wasn't thinking about overthrowing any government and succeeding in doing so, but this is what these kids did. And this is amazing. This is an amazing thing. So for 2 months after they ousted this guy, they sat in the military complex and said, we're going to peacefully protest until you negotiate something with us. And there was this amazing movement of music, literature, poetry, art in Sudan, starting in April. And this was so inspiring that the entire diaspora of Sudanese people did their own peaceful protests. I did one in New York. I put together a concert just like this, full of Sudanese artists, and we raised $13,000 to give to the Sudanese American Medical Association to help these kids. Yeah. chances are, if there's a Sudanese expat community in a town, there was something going on. Here in Bristol, in London for sure, in Paris, LA, all over the world. It was amazing. It was a beautiful time. For the first time in 30 years, Sudanese people had hope again, that they could get their country back, that there was a prosperous and productive move forward to something good. Now this happened for 2 months, until June 3rd, when this military council opened fire on these kids. They killed hundreds, thousands of these kids. And they dispersed this really beautiful, peaceful protest, thinking, all right, we dispersed this protest, things are going to go back to normal, another era of tyranny. But the people of Sudan said, no, we're not going to allow this to happen. And they banded together, this time the entire country, everyone from the entire country came to the capital Khartoum and protested peacefully again. And they documented this on social media, and they had a day of civil disobedience where no one went to work, and they told all of the diaspora to do the same. And we did. We had what we called the Millions March, where we stood together with our people of Sudan against this tyranny. Fortunately, it worked. And now in Sudan, for the first time in 30 years, is in a position, in a transition to a democracy. Yeah, this is an amazing thing. This is great. It's not exactly what we wanted. The military's still there, but we're hoping 3 years from now, there will be elections and there will be a democracy. So why am I telling you this story? The reason why I'm telling you this story is because it's important. In 1989, my family emigrated to the United States. We were in danger. We had nowhere to go. And the United States welcomed us with open arms. It said, we are here to help you. That same time, a bunch of Sudanese people came here to the UK. And the UK said, we're here to help you. We welcome you. Come. We're going to help you. This is a safe place for you. These are the kind of people that I know. This is the world that I know. Because there's a lot of bullshit in the news telling us otherwise. But that's not the majority of the world. We're here to help each other. To make the world a better place, to help each other. And what that takes, what that takes is love, understanding, empathy, and caring for one another. The more that we know about each other, the better we are as human beings, you know? And the better that we are as human beings, the better the world is. So I urge you, if you know anyone who's Sudanese, ask them how they're doing, give them a hug, look it up on Google. But it's not only Sudan, that's just one thing going on right now. There's so many other people around the world that are dealing with bullshit. And we are here to help each other in this time, you know? There's no better time to do that, because the more that we help each other, the better that the world is, and the better that we all are. Thank you.